mission specialist.
I'm Jeremy Hansen. I'm a mission specialist.
I'm Victor Glover. I'm the pilot.
I'm Reed Wiseman. I'm the commander for the Artemis II mission to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
NASA eventually launched its enormous new moon rocket in 2022. The James Webb Space Telescope sent its first scientific data, and the first planetary defense mission in history successfully collided with an asteroid. As 2023 approaches, let's take a look at 12 intriguing space tales to look forward to over the coming months. The current year is anticipated to be just as remarkable. Number 1. Psyche launch. A metal core is located deep within Earth's rocky crust and fluid mantle. We don't know much about the core since we can't actually access it, which leaves a gap in our knowledge of how terrestrial planets like ours evolve. Perhaps the Psyche mission will bridge that gap. The NASA orbiter, which is scheduled to launch in October 2023, will journey roughly 186 million miles to the metal-rich asteroid Psyche, which astronomers believe might be the exposed core of an early planet. This will be our first direct look at what might be beneath the rocky surface of Earth. Number 2. The return of OSIRIS-REx. While Psyche is set to launch in 2023, another asteroid mission, OSIRIS-REx, is expected to return home this year. OSIRIS-REx will have collected the US's first asteroid sample by landing on the surface of Bennu in 2020. The space rock fragments are currently traveling to Earth, and delivery is scheduled for September 2023. In the event that we ever need to attempt to deflect a dangerous space rock, it is hoped that scientists would be able to use the sample to increase the precision of remote asteroid measurements. Number 3. The VICTUS-NOx mission. The VICTUS-NOx mission, which continues the concept of space defense, is intended to defend the U.S. against any adversaries that chose to start an off-world conflict by destroying one of U.S. important satellites, rather than shielding Earth from an asteroid. The mission is a test. Sometime in 2023, Firefly Aerospace will get a request to launch a satellite from Space Safari, a division of the U.S. Space Force. The U.S.'s capacity to quickly replace a downed satellite will be demonstrated. The launch service provider will then have just 24 hours to send it into orbit. Number 4. The 3D printed rocket. There will be a lot happening in the aerospace sector in 2023, not just for Firefly. With a launch window opening on January 31st, LA-based startup launched Terran 1, the first 3D printed rocket, on March 23, 2023. Relativity plans to launch the first commercial payload to Mars as early as 2024 using Terran-R, which will be developed after Terran 1's successful test flight. Number 5. Australia's hybrid rocket. Australia's Gilmour Space Technologies, another newcomer to the space industry, intends to launch Eris, its maiden rocket, in April 2023. If successful, Australia will become just the 12th country to enter space using a homegrown rocket. With a successful launch, Eris will also be the first rocket to use a hybrid engine, one in which the fuel and oxidizer are two separate states of matter, which may open the door for safer, more affordable space travel. Number 6. The launch of Starship. A number of significant aerospace firms are also planning first-of-their-kind missions for 2023, possibly none more so than SpaceX's Starship, which is on track to beat NASA's SLS as the largest rocket to ever take flight. Although Elon Musk's team hasn't announced a date for Starship's first-ever orbital test flight, many believe it will take place in the first half of 2023. SpaceX performed multiple static fire tests of the enormous rocket's engines in November and December 2022. Number 7. Bezos's orbital rocket. Jeff Bezos, the billionaire competitor of Musk, owns his own aerospace company, Blue Origin, but unlike SpaceX, it has only launched a suborbital rocket like New Shepard. With the launch of its first orbital rocket, New Glenn, the business wants to change that in late 2023. Blue Origin will be able to begin competing with SpaceX and United Launch Alliance, ULA, for NASA contracts if New Glenn does launch in 2023, despite the fact that development on the heavy lift rocket started a decade ago and its initial launch has already been postponed 3 times. Number 8. ULA's Vulcan Centaur. Speaking of ULA, the joint venture between Lockheed Martin and Boeing that was established in 2006 has launched more than 150 of its Atlas and Delta rockets for NASA, the U.S. Department of Defense, and other clients. Mid in 2023, the corporation plans to launch Vulcan Centaur, its next-generation rocket, for the first time, with a moon lander created by Pittsburgh's Astrobotic Technologies as its initial payload. Number 9. ispace Moon Lander. Astrobotic's Peregrine could be the first private lunar lander to touch down on the moon's surface, pending the timing of the Vulcan Centaur launch. The intuitive machines-built Nova-C lunar lander from Houston could also take the prize. It is scheduled to launch in June 2023. The HAKUTO-R from the Japanese startup ispace, however, has an advantage over the rival landers. It was launched on a SpaceX rocket on December 11th, but it won't make it to the moon until April 2023 because of a roundabout route that uses the Earth's and the Sun's gravity to save fuel. Number 10. India's second attempt. Japan will become one of the few countries to successfully soft land on the moon if everything goes according to plan for the ISpace mission. India plans to launch its Chandrayaan-3 lunar lander in June of 2023 in an effort to join that list as well. India will be making its second attempt to land a spacecraft on the moon after Chandrayaan-2 crashed into the moon in 2019. But the country's space agency is optimistic that this mission would be successful due to improved engineering. Number 11. Juice Worlds. In 2023, the European Space Agency, ESA, also has a moon mission planned, but this one will focus on 3 moons, namely Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa, 3 of Jupiter's ocean moons. Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, JUICE, an ESA mission scheduled to launch in April 2023, will study the moons over the course of 35 flybys using a suite of 10 instruments. It is hoped that the mission would increase our knowledge of how and where life may exist in the cosmos. Number 12. China's Space Telescope. If all goes as planned, 2023 will end with the launch of a brand new space telescope, just like 2021 did. Yet China's Xuntian telescope will observe visible and near-ultraviolet light, in contrast to NASA's Webb, which is tuned for infrared wavelengths. With a field of view 350 times larger than Hubble, Xuntian will be able to survey 40% of the sky in a decade, compared to the aging Hubble's less than 0.8% in 32 years. This makes the new telescope somewhat of a successor to the fading Hubble. So, this is the 12 most exciting space missions of 2023. Hope you like this informative video. Please share with others and subscribe to my channel for more such content. And also, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a comment about this video or if you have a topic for a future video, please do comment. Thank you for watching.